Good afternoon, friends, followers, channel members. Welcome to the Airbus A310. Obviously, it's been out for a few days now, but for those of you who know, I wasn't very well at the time that the update came out, and subsequently the Airbus 310. So this is actually my first opportunity to dive in and fly, which means that I'm going to guess you guys, if you've had the opportunity to enjoy the A310 prior to this, well, then you guys are all in desperate need by me today, because you're going to help me navigate my way through this old relic of an Airbus. Not many passenger variants of the A310 still around, but Mahan Air are one such carrier that do still fly the A310, and this is a real-world flight as well, from Tehran to, is it Kish International, I think, which is just on a little island somewhere not too far away from Dubai, and it's a VOR approach as well, so there's no there's no ILS either, so we're really going old school on today's flight. I hope the weather's good. I'm just going to be flying it like a Cessna, but we will see that the Airbus 320, which we're all very familiar with here on this channel, we can see the very early stages of the kind of logical thinking that Airbus were developing when they created this aircraft, and how it then got refined a little more and put into the A320, following of course the A310. But I'm not going to flag this up as a real ops flight. I'm not. That's not even possible. So there's going to be plenty of mistakes, plenty of things that I will probably miss, and that's where you guys are going to come in. So I hope you've all got an afternoon clear. The flight time is around 1 hour and 20 minutes, might be 1 hour 30 minutes. But the operational flight plan is pinned in the chat for those of you watching on YouTube, and of course, welcome to our Twitch viewers as well. So welcome on board, everyone. Hey, Dark Von, Mark, Rotofib, David, Jack Russell, Steve, good to see you as well. Danny, good afternoon as well. Danny to you. Gary Dunn, welcome to channel membership. Gary, thank you so much for the early channel membership there here on the stream, and in the First Officers Club. Don't forget to get yourself in our Discord server as well. Hey Mark, good to see you. Sarcotex here as well. Streamlabs is on with the gambling already, I see. Such a problem you guys have. Hey Simon, good to see you. Cameron on Twitch. EasyJet looking very green. Yeah, I felt very green over the last few days, to be honest with you. So yeah, good to see lots of you. Elliot Woodford is there as well. Hey Sam, hello Blueface, and Panos too. And Christian says he's pretty solid on the 310. Might yell at me. Fantastic, Christian. Well, you can plonk your seat in yourself in the right out seat for me as well. Just Willie. Hi Willie. How the devil are you, sir? It's been a while. Okay, well let's jump in, shall we, and enjoy. So. I did see someone asking if I was doing a full cold and dark start. I've not. I've got it kind of in a turnaround state. We're just powered up with the GPU at the moment, which, to be honest with you, the cold and dark setup isn't that dissimilar, is it, from the 320? So I'm just going to essentially go through. I don't know if these are official flows or anything like that, but we know how we do the flows and the overhead in the 320, and that is literally up that panel, up that panel, up the panel, and you know that's how essentially how it all works. And we can do something, I guess, very similar here as well. So for instance, want the want no smoking to be auto, seatbelt signs off. We haven't refueled yet, so that's fine. Hydraulics are all fine there as well. We would usually put the ground control button on for the flight recorder whilst we're on the ground. It's still nice to see that Airbus have got the lights out policy, so that's essentially all I'm going to be really using and looking for. Let's just try and get a bit of a better position here. So let's get the navigation lights. They can come on. Leave these off for the moment. We can get the galley power on. External power is on. The APU is not running just yet. We'll get that sorted in a little while. The batteries aren't on at the moment. We can go and just check, can't we? See what? Let's check the batteries are all in the right area with regards to our voltage. They appear to be, so that's fine, in which case let's get the batteries on as well. Oh, they were on. Sorry, they were on. Do you know, I was looking for a little green line that came on. I like the green line policy. It kind of, I'm a very visual person, so when you've got the little green line showing, it kind of like connects the dots, and I really do like that because you can see what is being powered from where, kind of thing. So yeah, that's quite neat. Will says, is Mahan the company that was still flying the Boeing 707 until a few years back? I believe they could have been, Will, because I think this airline, I don't know the full history of the airline, but there was some kind of limitations on them being allowed to purchase new aircraft, so it could have been them. Yes. Blueface says, Phoenix spoiled us. The A310 is a nice complicated aircraft. See, that's a nice way of putting it. A nice complicated aircraft. Elliot says, don't forget to check flight model in Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's a bug, keep reverting it to legacy. Is that the case? I've not come across that. We'll find out on the takeoff roll, shall we? So that's all fine. We can leave the pumps off, etc. for the time being. We'll get some refueling done. But one of the things, of course, we need to do then is we will have to get the IRS aligned. There, okay, that can come on. probe heat, not automatic it seems, in the 310. And APU's over here, we'll get that sorted in a moment. They're the packs, they're all fine, leave them in auto. Yeah, the less we need to mess around with, the better, really. Okay, let's get these aligned. I think I might have got this set to instant, so it should happen pretty much straight away. So let's get the APU fired up now. I just need to try and remember where on earth that is. Before we do that, make sure, of course, wipers are turned off. Although it was raining a bit ago, it might have stopped now. So just before I do that, I'll just do what I guess I would do in the 320, which is just check that we've got spoilers are retracted, thrust levers are at idle, engine masters are fine, engine mode selectors, etc. Parking brakes are on, and the flaps lever. That's all well and good. And now let's go and get that APU turned on. So we've got the APU master, fuel pump low pressure, that should just disappear in a second. There we go. And let's start that APU. Now if we come down here, is this firing up? Yes it is. Wonderful. Right, well whilst I'm waiting for the APU, we'll come across here and we'll look at loading our aircraft. So if we go to... where would it be? Is it weights and balance page just here? Now does anybody know if there is a way to... because I've already got the sim brief set up, so that's all done, that's been imported kind of thing. But does anybody know if it's possible to... sync up the weights and things from your operational flight plan into the aircraft, or do you just have to kind of pop those in manually? Christian, yeah, I'll give the command in the McDo as well once we get there. Fieldman says you have to use the sliders, I'm afraid. That's fair enough, that's what I thought, so we're kind of just having to make it up as we go along a little bit. So right, well in that case our payload according to the operational flight plan is 24,885. Let's try and get it as close as possible then, shall we? Pop some cargo in. So it would be nice if you could just type this in and it did it for you, but maybe in a future update. That's getting pretty close then now, isn't it? Oh, he says, having just wrecked it. There, that'll do. Yeah, that's close enough. Right, our zero fuel weight then is... that's about right, yeah, that's pretty close. So the zero fuel weight was 104 tons, 0.885. Yeah, that's all right. It's not a million miles away. And then fuel, the plug fuel for today's flight is 11.1 tons. Well, let's load more than that. Let's take... I'm going to take 14 tons. We're underloaded by 9 tons today, so 14 tons in total, or 13.9. Okay, so now is that apply? Is that all now loaded in, I think? Yes, there we go, we've got a gross weight, we've got a CFG, there we are. Okay, so hopefully we're all happy with everything so far. We've got the payload sorted. Let's tell GSX to start loading things as well.
Boarding requested.
Now I don't have a GSX profile set up for this aircraft, so I've kind of just left it to do that on its own, do its own thing, really. Right, well, refueling's now completed. APU is on, so let's get all of our fuel pumps turned on. And over here somewhere we've got the APU bleed. There we are. See what I mean? I just like these little lines because it kind of just confirms what's going where and things, and I think that's really nice. Emergency lights, they're armed, aren't they? They're already armed, that's fine. So let's continue and set up the box then. We've got any ATIS information for where we are? Where are we? That's another thing as well. I'm flying a brand new aircraft and I'm in a part of the globe that I have absolutely no knowledge of. Just clear the scratch pad out. Oscar, India. Is that possible to get that? We've got a company message received. That's fine. Oh, nice. I like that. That's nice, quick and easy, isn't it? So that's the current weather. I'm quickly going to scribble this down, actually. So we've got wind 060 at 4. Few clouds, 4,000 cumulonimbus, broken 10,000. Temperature is plus 14. QNH is 1015. And altimeter is 2999. That's interesting that it gives it you both. Quite like that. Hey Brian Crawley, welcome mate. Celebrating 17 months of channel membership. Brian, thank you so much for your continued support over that time. And Sheffield as well, Brian. You know, you can't get much better, can you? Eastbirds Lee, hello. Says finally an A310 flight on the stream. Looking forward to how this will go. Thanks, Eastbird. Is that? Are you hoping it goes wrong?
Passengers boarding started.
Right, let's go back to our main menu and we'll start setting this up. Right, have I got a good air cycle? Yes, that's all fine. Right, onto our init A page. That's been brought in. Now, funnily enough, with the SimBrief profile that I've got, the cost index is very limited to either M79 or M80. I'm not quite sure what the M stands for, unless they're talking about max speed. But that doesn't make much sense because you've still got to put an actual figure in just here. And Christian has just said if you use the standard SimBrief profile and a cost index of 40, which is recommended, you'll burn around 100 kilogram more per hour compared to the operational flight line. Right, well, in that case, we've thrown on extra fuel, so that's fine. Let's go with the cost index then of 40. Yeah, Critic, we're just working through things in order at the moment, Critic, just as we would do in the 320. And just clear that out. So we don't have to come from route, we don't have an alternate route. Cost index then of 40. Cruise flight level today, flight level 370, yeah, that's fine. And the flight ID is India, Romeo Mike 1043. Again, you can check this out on Flight Radar 24. It is a real flight. Cruise winds have been brought in. Got the temperature as in as well. I'm happy to leave that. Okay, now we'll hit the align, and that's all done. Now that's been aligned, I need to remember to go up here and turn on the autopilot systems, so that should have brought all that in. Yeah, that's good. And the nav accuracy has been upgraded. So onto the flight plan, has that been brought in? Yes it has. So we're expecting, I'm not on VATSIM today, so I can pretty much do what we want with regards to where we're going to depart from and things. So we're going to depart from 29 left, and we're going to take the Airbussy 1 Charlie is the one we've been given. Although actually the 1 Alpha seems a lot better. Yeah, so the 1 Charlie has us basically fly out and then came back again just to gain a bit of altitude. But we can take 1 Alpha. It's basically then just a straight left-hand turn as we depart. So let's go with that. Real-time tech, should we rely on your flight procedures to use in real-world navigation? Oh god, no. No. Never ever do that. If you are flying in the real world, and if you're commercially flying in the real world, always refer to your airline's OMB, SOPs, and things like that. Right, what am I taking? Yeah, they're losing one Alpha, so if we get those in and insert, and then at the other end, we're planning to arrive on runway 09 left, and it's going to be a VOR approach to 09 left, and the star is the Al Nol 1 Sierra, this one. Now, one thing I appear to be missing is, it doesn't give you, sadly, any time or miles, track mileage. We've got distances between each waypoint, but I can't see any between here, any cumulative distance, which, never mind. Okay. Flight plan is done. Now a little bit of old-fashioned tuning. Now we don't have a RadNav page in here, do we? No. So in that case, let's hard tune the VOR here at Tehran, which is 115.3. Okay, why is that not coming on? What am I missing? Why can't I tune the VOR? Ah, there we are. 115.3. Oh, it has actually been hard tuned. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, maybe the A310 does hard tune stuff. Wonderful. Jacked is total distance in the progress page. 594 miles is the difference to destination, right? And we've got 599 miles on the operational flight plan. That is very close, isn't it? Yes. So we can take that right onto the init B pages, which we access via init, and then next page. So fuel for the alternate according to the operational flight plan, if we throw in there 2.5 tons. I was about to say that sounds like a lot, but then I forget it's a much bigger aircraft, this, isn't it? So that's fine. The C of G is 22.8. 22.8. HD! Welcome to... I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, no, Sherlock. Oh, this is great. This is then when HD and I actually become on even footing, because neither of us know what we're really doing. It's usually just me. So our zero fuel weight is what? 104.9. Oh, well, let's call it 105. 105. The block fuel we loaded is 13.9. And then we've got our takeoff gross weight, which is just here, 118.500. Not used to seeing figures that high. Right, so that's our init B page all sorted. So now we need to do our takeoff performance calculations. So the runway conditions, we need to use the charts to get the takeoff runway available. So we're taking off, we're going to do full length. Taking off runway 29 left, the full length takeoff runway available is, God, these are long, 4,041 meters, I think. So is that the full length? 4,041 meters, 29 left. Yeah, 4,041. 4041. Oh, that's interesting. There was a button there which is 4,047. Is that something it's got from a database then, do we reckon? I mean, it was close. It's not dead on, but it's close. Surface is dry. It was raining when I first loaded it in, so that looks very black up there, doesn't it? Shall we be conservative? Let's go for wet. The runway QDM is 285 degrees. Yeah, look, 290 there, 285. The wind was 060 at 4. A little bit of a tailwind, to be honest, but never mind. The outside air temperature is 14, and the QNH is 1015. Takeoff weight was 118.5 tons. We'll use flaps. This is flaps 1, isn't it? Essentially. So there we are. HG says he's found the flex seems to be a little bit underpowered in this thing. He took it from Gatwick yesterday and nearly went off the end. Yeah, I did the same thing the first time I did it though, and my problem was I'd forgotten to turn on the auto thrust system. So it just was trundling along and eating little bits of runway, and by the time I decided to just go toga, I was well, yeah, I was probably a third of the runway had been eaten up. Not good. Anti-ice will have that off. Air conditioning, I'm going to leave that on. So let's calculate and see what we get then. Flaps need to be 15-15 for normal takeoff, and Joey also says 15-15. So that's essentially flaps 2 then, isn't it? Or config 2 as we would know it. Well, in that case then, let's recalculate that. And we'll go for config 2. Right, so we've now got V2, which is 150. That needs putting in up here. There we go. And let's put the rest of the figures into the box. So we've got flex of 51. And then we just need to fill out the box, don't we? So we've got 134 and 136. Where is it? Is it in the reference page? No. Where do we enter the speeds? I can't recall where they get entered. Oh, it's the takeoff and approach page, of course it is. Right, what was it? 134 and 136. 134. 136. V2 has already been selected through the FCU. So F speed is 153, S is 192. And clean is 218. Thrust reduction, acceleration values, leave all of that. It's set to 1,000 feet, so that's fine. And I think then, unless anybody can think of anything else, I think we're more or less set up. So we're going to pop the runway heading up here as well, which is 285. And we're going to set our initial climb to flight level 130. And we'll pop on the profile and nav, so they're armed. And I think that's it, isn't it, guys? We've not missed anything else that I recall. Let's get rid of the external power then, so that can come off. Let's get the seatbelt signs on. Just go to the ground page, see what's there, GPU, that can go. I think that's it. I can't see anything that's screaming or shouting at me either, so even better. I think we're good. Alright, well, as I said, this isn't going to be a full super in-depth real ops live briefing thing, but I do want to just be a little bit clean and happy with what we're doing, particularly because I just don't know the geographical area either, and I know we've got terrain to the north of us, and well, not only that, I think it's quite cloudy as well, so if we're going to fly into something, chances are we're not going to see it until it's too late. So, very quick brief. Whether it's cloudy, we're going to be taken off with a very slight tailwind, but we've programmed that, we're compensated for it. Aircraft type is the A310. I believe it to be fully serviceable. Not bothered about NOTAMs. Threats to be aware of. We have got an aircraft I don't know how to fly. We've got terrain up here to the north. Just realised that terrain up to the north. So that's probably our biggest threat. Unfamiliarity with the airport as well, but the taxi should be pretty straightforward. We're going to push back. We're parked just here, so we're going to push back onto Alpha and then straight down on Alpha for full length departure. We're taking the second runway, so 29 left. And then as soon as we depart, it is a left-hand turn. We'll get the autopilot on, and that's going to get us up to 12,000 feet. Right, I think we're all good. Doors are closed. Everyone's on board, I believe is the case. Oh, self-loading cargo's not boarded the passengers. Well, that's rubbish. Let's just board those instantly. 1 second. If I just open that door. There we go. They're all boarded. Close that door again. Wonderful. Right, let's get GSX in position and prepare it to push back. Why do we need to open exit 4, GSX? I'll tell you what. Let's just reset that position and then we'll just jump into the pushback, kind of like we have to do in the Phoenix. Hey Andrew, good to see you. Says loves the aircraft. Always something to learn when watching others. I'm here to learn from you guys today, though. It's different.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
That fan's very loud, isn't it? I'm gonna guess, is it the APU fan that's making all that noise?
Locking gear.
Oh, HD says he thinks it's the recirculation air fan. Oh, could be. I wouldn't even know where that is to turn that off. Yeah, exactly, if you can find it.
Release parking brake.
Right, well, we're about to start getting ourselves ready, so let's get the beacon light on.
Release parking brake.
And release the parking brake.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Right, see if we can remember how to start the engines. So ignition to A. We're starting both engines, so it doesn't really matter. Let's start engine 1.
Ladies, gentlemen and channel members, on behalf of the crew I ask that you now please direct your attention to the monitors and cabin crew as we review the emergency procedures. There are 6 emergency exits on this A320neo. Please take a minute to locate the one closest to you and note that it may be behind you.
Let's add in the fuel.
The exit. Should the cabin experience pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from your cabin crew. Oxygen mask will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this and pull the strap to tighten it. If you are travelling with children, ensure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency...
Even as early as the A310, every time you moved to the next stage of flight, the early ECAM system sort of came and the systems page came and told you all the information you needed, didn't it? Where are you going? Stop! That was abrupt.
Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Confirmation for a good engine start.
Okay, let's do number 2. So start 2 valves open. And engine 2, turn that on, there we go. I had a similar issue with the thrust levers when I first got this aircraft, and yeah, it was just the the reverse thrust was just constantly on, and then I changed my settings from my Phoenix profile to the kind of default standard Microsoft Flight Simulator profile, and it seems to have worked fine then. I don't know if it had something to do with the fact that the Phoenix uses a different thrust lever axis, doesn't it, compared to normal? Right, tell GSX to go away because you've done a rubbish job with the pushback this time.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
What on earth did they do to that aircraft? These clouds look rather menacing, don't they? I wanted a nice clear day for my first flight in the 310. Yeah, so HD, the thrust axis is... the Phoenix uses, is it something like throttle with 0% to 100% or something like that? It's whichever one the Phoenix is, the A310 isn't. Use the opposite one. Now, I tell you what I haven't done, and I really should because I do have one. So the before start checklist. Oh, right, so cockpit prep was completed, signs were on rotor, yeah, fuel quantity, that's fine, checked. Navigation was fine, landing elevation, oh, we have to set that, don't we? What is the landing elevation of our airport today? It is 99, that's over here somewhere, isn't it? There we go, that'll do. So, landing elevation, altimeter is fine, brake line skid is fine, windows, doors, yeah, that's good. Alright, so the after start checklist. The pitch trim, which is 22.8, that's down here, isn't it? Or is it just, do we just use up and down in this aircraft? 1.8 up, I think we do. So 1.8 up, that's all the way up there. Make sure you don't get that in the wrong direction though. Probably one of the reasons they got away, that they did away with it. So the rudder is set to 0. We can just do a normal A320 after start, can't we? So let's just work through that. So the APU can come off. We don't need that anymore. Ignition can come off. So that's fine. Rudder's 0, spoilers are on, we've gone flaps, config 2, we've set the trim. Now let's check that after start checklist. So pitch trim is 0, rudder trim is, sorry, pitch trim is 1.8, rudder is 0, spoilers are armed, flaps and slats are 15, ECAM status is checked, anti-ice off, hand signal has been received. Let's go. Should we do a quick flight control check as well? So we've got the full left, we've got full right, that's full up, full down. Do we have the flight control option down here? Full up, full down, neutral and rudder, full right, rudder, full left, and neutral. Okay, let's turn that page off. Right, let's taxi to the runway then. So we're going to get the taxi light on. Where's the brightness for the overhead? Oh well, do you know what? We'll sort that in a bit. Let's get rolling. Now there's a TO config button somewhere as well. Where's that? Is that down here? We do have one, but I can't recall where it is. I can't find it while I'm taxiing. Yes, HD, don't forget to trim. This doesn't have auto trim, does it? Is it just to the right of the fuel cutoff? Let me see. Oh, yes. Well, we've pressed it and nothing's beeped at us, so that's a positive sign, isn't it? What are those things? Are they people? People just left little random... well, like the thing garages have, jacks, to lift aircraft up. Right, as long as we don't crash on takeoff, we've got an hour and a half to get to our destination and work out how to land. Miguel says we need to hold it. What, the takeoff config button? Right, fair enough. We'll do that when we're stationary. Looks like we've got a nice crosswind for our departure today. Anyway, look at that. So let me just confirm where it is we're taxiing here so I don't get lost. We want to go right around... oh, it's around here. Okay. So that's 29 right, we want 29 left. Looks like a bit of a divot in the ground in a minute. Is that going to drop us down? Oh, yeah, there it is. That's highly realistic. Right, approach path looks fine. Should be, we've got no other aircraft. Actually, that's not true. FSLTL injector's working, but I can't see any aircraft here, so don't worry about that too much. Okay, let's just check that TO config button again, see if it says anything. What was that? Couldn't read it. Probe heat. Ah, yes, of course, it's not automatic, is it? Hey Jonas, you are just in time for takeoff. TO test is normal. Fantastic. Okay, so just gonna quickly talk through the takeoff. So the before takeoff checklist, flight controls have been done. Departure briefing: takeoff, turn left, climb, don't hit the terrain. Slats, flaps are config 2 or 1515. Performance. And the FMAs we've got yeah, VS heading, but then armed we've got the profile, climb, and nav. Transponder, we need TCAS TARA, don't we? Which is just there, that's set. Cabin is secure, TCAS TARA, packs are on, ignition is off, anti-ice is off. Okay, I think that's it. Now, just to talk about through the takeoff, and again, let me know if you hear anything that's not quite right. We're going to hold it on the toe brakes, increase thrust to 40% N1. Once we've done that, we can start rolling. We can then push the toga button just here, and that should then slowly increase up the thrust to what we've predetermined with our performance calculations. Right, let's go. HD's got the popcorn out. Give you something to do when you're bored, my friend. That's why I'm here. I don't know if we need to hold side stick half forward or whatever, but why not? Okay. 50%. Sorry, 40%. 40% and 1. That looks good. Let's release. And push. Should start to increase. God, this accelerates slowly. We're going to have enough runway. Oh, good lord. I wish I'd picked the other runway. Oh my word, has someone bombed this airport? I need a lot of rudder in to keep the centre line. V1. Rotate. And we're airborne. Let that weather vane into the wind. Gear is up. So we've now got profile, thrust, profile, climb and nav. Here comes the rain. Still manually flying it for the moment. Get a feel for the thing. What I will do as well, once we're airborne and happy and we're nicely cruising away to pass the time, I might go and set up some custom views. Okay, I'm happy now to engage autopilot. So autopilot 1's engaged. I'm now hands free. Let's go flaps 1. Love that rain effect. We've passed S speed, so flap 0. Disarm the spoilers. Electro Soldier says ran over a pigeon. That was no pigeon. These clouds look amazing though, don't they, today? They're really good. Love flying in real weather. We're not on live time as well, by the way, because it's a bit dark in real life over in Tehran at the moment. Christian, HD, does the weather radar work in this aircraft? If so, where the hell do we turn that on? Stan, I've seen that. I don't know what's wrong with that overlay information, so apologies for that. Ninja, I have no NVIDIA shade filters or anything daft like that. No. Right, we've passed 10,000 feet. I should probably turn the lights on that I forgot to put on the ground, quite clearly. Whoops. So they can come off. So with no air traffic control, let's just get ourselves nice and happy. Let's go up to 30,000 feet for now. Got that text on the top of the primary flight display, the top right where the altitude is. That's bloody small. Glad they made that bigger than the 320. I've now got RSI. Right, 30,000 feet. Blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, shortly begin our cabin service as we continue to climb
Set standard pressure.
altitude. You may now use your electronic devices. Rechargeable battery packs are also available to purchase from our cabin crew. You can also ask them about joining our frequent flyers and becoming a channel member. Thank you.
HD, if you push or pull the altitude FCU button, you can change the altitude to thousands only, but it will change the mode. Fair enough. Oh, Aviation Alfie, good shout. Yeah, we have to do this. Now, this is a problem when you've got hardware, isn't it? Because you don't have 3 positions for the gear with most hardware. So, can I... There, is that now... That's off, isn't it? Yes.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy your trip.
I've got my altimeters all synced as well, rather than having to go through and change every one of them. Okay, I'll turn the seatbelt signs off, I think.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy your trip.
Could be an evening approach. Peter, did we set all the brake max for takeoff? No, we didn't. I don't know if that is something that, again, you should do just like you do in the 320, but... When we did hit TO config, it didn't scream at us, so I would suggest it's not something you have to do. There's a landscape down below which I don't think we'll have ever seen on this channel, and sadly the clouds are blocking it at the moment. It's not the normal area of the world we're flying, is it? But to be able to fly this aircraft on a real route in a random part of the world is exciting. HC says, do you know what putting the landing gear to off did? Absolutely nothing. Made the American guys feel more comfortable flying it because they're used to Boeings. Don't know if it's true. Possibly. I did think it was something to do with the hydraulics as well, aviation, but I'm nowhere near clever enough to know that. Now, are we off course or something here? What's going on down there? We don't seem to be bang on the line, do we? So the TAT's in icing range. And we're about to go through a layer of cloud by the looks of things, so we might have to do something with that. Christian says it's stock, Azobo, LNAV being awful. HD says IRS drift. Let's go with the IRS drift. I think it's more realistic. Probably for an aircraft of this age as well. So I think the flight that actually flew this aircraft today, the aircraft that actually flew this aircraft today was, I want to say it was something like 1991 when the aircraft was built. Where's that weather radar? Give me, there's terrain radar down there presumably. Where's the weather radar button? You're going to have to literally guide me to it. Can I get rid of the flight yoke? Can we? Does that disappear? Oh, that's better. That feels more like an Airbus. Weather radar's near my backside. Hang on. Oh, here we go. There, is that it? Does it do anything? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, that looks like fun. I can't wait till we actually get a proper one working. That's going to make such a difference to things. Maggie says it only gives you the rain return. It's useful. Well, that's exactly how it works, isn't it? Normally, it only shows you precipitation. It doesn't show you clouds. Right, so we're leveling off at 30,000 feet. I think we're going to get ourselves up to 37,000, so we weren't particularly heavy today for this aircraft, were we? So not going to have any issues getting up. So go 37. And up we go, 370 blue. Fun bit's going to be landing this thing, a VOR approach. Joanna says the plane is fast as well. Yeah, Mach 8.1. Not something we see on the EasyJet 320 very often. Although last night we were told to hold Mach 0.8 or greater, which was kind of like going against every rule in the Orange Book. Where can we see the saturated air temperature? I've got the TAT there, but where's the SAT? Oh, it's there, minus 51. Right, well, in that case, we don't really need it anymore, do we? Get rid of that. Neil Simon, thank you so much, Neil, saying first time in the chat, so welcome to that, Neil, great to have you on board. Says the tutorials have been amazing help to him with Flight Simulator since it was released, really enjoying it. Neil, that's great to hear, and I'll not even hold it against you that you're a Leeds United fan, Neil, so welcome on board as well, great to have you in the chat for the first time. we doing with the... Yeah, that looks neat. So we've got a quite a strong wind actually coming across. Well, you can see that because of the crab angle on the nav track. Excellent. And Ginger Ninja says I need to start a consultancy service where I can just sit on your aircraft and train you. That's what the videos are for, Ninja. Well, it looks like we're coming up to flight over 370. It's climbed quite nicely today. Yesterday I found it quite sluggish to get up. Today seems to be doing alright. Aviation, have you ever seen the new MD-11? I've seen it and I kind of very quickly disregarded it and thought, nah, too close to Boeing for me anyway. Mind you, having a button here that says level change, that's... Phew, I saw that and I nearly freaked out. Right, so we're now at our cruising altitude, flight level 370. Cornelius Nimbus, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Amir says he couldn't believe his eyes that I was flying from his home airport today. Well, absolutely. When we got an A310, it would it'd be wrong not to, wouldn't it? Okay, well, everything at the moment is looking pretty good, I think. I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't start the timer when we set off, but never mind. That MD-11's not cheap either, is it? Is it something like £60? Isn't it more than the Phoenix? Right, I'm going to see if I can just create some custom views. Can we escape the flight deck in here? Ah, yes we can. Fantastic. Oh, no we can't. I can't escape the flight deck. In that case I'm not going to create custom views, I'll do that afterwards. That's a shame. Oh, hang on, yes I can. Oh, that's quite neat. Should we go for first class? You can't get very close to the windows though, can you? That's a shame. You can normally get a lot closer than that, but never mind. Oh god, is this true? Is this real? If that's true, that is absolutely insane. That is brilliant. I've not seen that before. I just need to clip this and pin it into the corner of the stream. That's awesome. I do like that. Yeah, I just wondered if I could set up a couple of custom views and get some nice wing views, but never mind if not. Hey Mark, it's good to be back. Noxana, how do I walk around the cabin? So you just use the arrow keys on your keyboard. Right, well, I actually have no idea where we are. So if something broke, my situational awareness here is completely out of a fashion. We don't have any map or anything like that either, do we, on the EFB, as far as I'm aware. I can understand why they changed the layout of the screens, because when you've got the flight yoke there, I guess you kind of want your screens to be closer to the horizon line of the flight deck, don't you, rather than staring right down into the depths there. You don't have that much peripheral vision of looking out the window when scanning down here. So we should be on the ground, well, if those screens are to be believed, we should be on the ground in around 1 hour 17 minutes. Christian says there is just one more thing he needs to mention around the A310. Do not trust the vertical mode. Well, I'm not going to be using it to help capture a glide slope, that's for sure. We don't have one today. Right, where is it we're landing? Oscar India Bravo Kilo. Let's see what the weather's doing. I mean, the weather in general is just... I mean, look at this. What kind of weather's this? I wanted to see some gorgeous scenery down beneath us. Just have a look at the operational flight plan, see if it's got anything on there. Isolated embedded cumulonimbus up to 39,000 feet. So if I go to the flight plan page, has it got top of descent? Got top of climb shown. Top of descent is shown there. 12:29, that's in sim time, isn't it? So that's in about 45 minutes. So yeah, we've got plenty of time now just to, I was going to say enjoy the view, but we're not going to get that. It's that high level cloud which really crumples your FPS. Danny asks, is the weather radar working in Microsoft Flight Simulator now? It always has done for kind of default aircraft, which is kind of, I guess, that is now what the A310 is, isn't it? It is a default aircraft. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Anyway, thank you for coming on board with us this afternoon. Big shout out to the viewers on Twitch as well, who are also with us. Look at these reflections up here. I mean, I know this isn't the aircraft specific, it's the graphics of the simulator, but it's just so nice. So nice. And the visors, they work as well, don't they? Look at that. Have we just got the one, or have we got any side window visors on this thing? we're going to have to, at some point, I'm going to have to find the time to do a transatlantic flight in this thing. I think that'd just be amazing. All on VATSIM as well. Von, what's with the ETA? It's because I've not got the real time set in the simulator. That's why. I don't know if I can change that. I don't even know what's going off with the aircraft. According to the overlay, the aircraft is an aircraft.ui mod, which is really messing up the overlay at the top, but never mind. Just want some of this weather to disappear so I can enjoy the views out the window. That's one of the perks of being sat up here at this height. Bruno, it's a great crosswind right in the middle of a jet stream. What are we at? Yeah, 117, 116 knots, literally blowing us across the track. So is there only Mahan and is it Iran Air? Iran Air also have some A310s. I think they're the only ones, aren't they, that currently fly passenger aircraft. FedEx, I believe, they've got A300s. Do they have A310 cargos as well? Aviation Alpha says he did Boston to Lisbon in the 310 the other day and it was amazing. It flew perfectly, yeah. Ash K, an Airbus without a side stick. That's right, the side stick didn't come until the A320. HD says if Unibuilds updated this with the A300, that would be awesome. I guess the precedence is there, isn't it? It's set. I don't know how different the 310 was from the 300. Probably not that different. Wonder how long it'll be though now until we get the fly-by-wire A380. It's obviously been in the news quite a bit recently, hasn't it, with footage on YouTube and things. HD says you think Monarch could squeeze around 364 passengers on that. What, on the A300? That is going back some years, isn't it? That really is going back some years. Right, let me see if I can get some see if we can get some weather. So en route weather for us. Oscar India Sierra Sierra. Oh, wrong one. Is that en route? Let me just change the. Trying to work out roughly where we are. Oh, actually, we're closer to Isfahan International, which is Oscar India Fox Mike. So we'll type that in instead. Oscar India Fox Mike. Send that off. See what the message is. So the wind's there, 220/18, that's fine. Visibility, 8 kilometers, light rain, few clouds. That's okay. Now, what I really need is good weather at our destination airport. So off to Oscar India Bravo Kilo. Let's see what that weather is. Oh, hallelujah. Cav okay. And the winds aren't too bad either. That's what I wanted. If I've got to do a VOR approach in this thing, then yeah, definitely needed the weather to be good to us. I have no idea what's going up above me, in the room above, but sounds like one of the kids is about to end up in my lap, complete with plasterboard. RSA Doodles, hey mate, asks how difficult is it to fly this aircraft compared to the Phoenix or the fly-by-wire? I think you've just got to remember that if you're happy with the Phoenix, if you're happy in the fly-by-wire, which is what I say, obviously I am, then when you come into an aircraft like this, I think the biggest barrier is just locating where everything is. You still want to do everything that you do in the Phoenix, everything you do in the fly-by-wire, the 320, but how you do it might be slightly different. What are the sounds like, guys? Anyway, for a stream, because it sounds very loud in my headset. So I don't know if we can just tweak these a little bit. Let me know. What does it sound like compared to the voice, cabin calls, a little bit of background music? But yeah, it does sound very loud in my earphones. Fly Half 2 says Mahan, Haryana, Afghan, Iran Air Tour, all currently flying the 310s. RSA says awesome, just saw too many analog gauges and they scare you. Well, the main analog gauges that you've got now, this is engine 1, this is engine 2. Well, of course, that's just been replaced by a screen in the 320, hasn't it? The upper ECAM. So they are there anyway in your 320. Just obviously looks slightly different. Standby altitude. VS. Just here. Backup airspeed indicator. Just there. Artificial horizon. The acupressure gauge. That looks like they didn't even bother updating that. That looks exactly what it looks like almost in the 320. Gavin Gaming, hello. So the banner at the top is a streaming overlay. So yeah, it's you don't get to see that in the sim. So I can't see that. Obviously, you can see it, but I can't. Oh, Steve on Twitch, thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Brian saying about the closure of the airspace for Doncaster Airport. Yeah, they've paused the closure of that airspace, haven't they? Who knows? Oh, hello. Is that the ground down there? Yeah, there's gorgeous textures and wonderful scenery down beneath us, but we just can't see it, which is a shame. Steve says it's 1 AM where he is there on Twitch, so he's off to bed, I'm guessing. Don't blame you, Steve. Thanks for tuning in. Aviation Alpha says he hopes Doncaster gets revived. Yeah, me too, my friend. I mean, I bought the scenery for it now, so I'd love it to get revived. I'd love it to... Imagine if if you got revived and EasyJet started flying from it. I literally would base almost every flight we did in and out of that airport. It'd be awesome. Kendall looks a bit cloudy out. It does indeed. Although, look, here we go. It's just starting to break now, isn't it? Oh, that looks good. That looks really neat. I like that view. Sit here and enjoy this for a while. Brian says his house is under... oh, it's under the downwind for runway 2, is it? Oh, nice. Colin says it looks and sounds great. I don't think there's anybody that's not been happy with this A310, is there? In fact, there's very few people I've come across who've actually not been happy with the 40th anniversary update. Full stop. Oh, isn't that so much better now we're out of the clouds? How good does that look? HD's just sliced his finger with the bread knife. Fantastic. Look after yourself, HD, and I hope it wasn't too deep. Oh, a bread knife's usually serrated as well. That's going to sting. I bet it was his McDo finger as well. Wally, good morning, sir. How are you? Thank you for your email as well, Wally. I caught that this morning, so... But I'd spoken to you online since, so... disregard, but yeah, thank you for that. Ooh, that looked a bit windy, didn't it? Panos says he hasn't flown the A310 yet. He's scared to fly an Airbus with a yoke. There's nothing to be scared about. Jonas, am I using FS realistic with the A310? I am indeed, yes. It's a bit bumpy, this. Might just turn those down a little bit, I think. Hopefully that's just taken the edge off slightly. Sounds a little less old school loudness. They didn't have the kind of noise cancelling technology that they have now. When you think about how loud this is compared to how loud it is if anyone ever has flown on the A380, it's a ridiculous indifference. Kendall, do any UK operators fly the A310? No. It's a dying breed of an aircraft, this one. Hey Nick, Glad you've been around, my friend. Speak to you soon. Have a good shift at work. HLC on Twitch, thank you so much for the follow as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to commence our service of hot drinks and alcoholic beverages. Please assist us by ensuring your tray tables are down and that the aisles are kept clear of bags. Our drinks menu can be found in the pocket in front of you. We serve a variety of local and international coffee, tea, beer, wine, and spirits. Please note that alcoholic drinks will not be served to those under 18 years of age. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
Such some wonderful textures and colours and things. The likes of which, due to the nature of the channel and the kind of flights that we do on there, we don't get to see this very often, do we? Well, now the A310's released and we can kind of bring in realistic flying of this aircraft to this part of the world. It's just another feather in the bow of Microsoft Flight Simulator, isn't it? Being able to do stuff like this. Andy says Royal Jordania still operate 310s as well. Do they? Fantastic. Air Transat, Alfie, yeah, they were probably one of the last major ones to fight. AK says, love the videos, thanks to you, I've almost mastered the A320. AK, that's great to hear. Hope you're enjoying the A320 as well. It's such a versatile aircraft. It can obviously do the medium, the good length medium haul, you know, up to 5.5 hour flights, or it can also do the very, very quick 20-minute flights. Like the one between the EasyJet do between Liverpool and the Isle of Man is ridiculously short. Absolutely loving those images and colours down there. Look at that. LA Kids 143, thank you so much for an incredibly generous $20 donation. And LA Kids saying thank you for streaming the A310. Oh, LA, that is really generous of you. Very much appreciated as well, LA. Long-time supporter of the channel as well. So great to have you on board this afternoon. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you are enjoying the A310 as much as the rest of us. So this is the first time I've actually been able to stream the A310 since it came out, due to being ill last week. So slowly getting to grips with it. Of course, we've still got to land it, haven't we? Getting it up and airborne is probably the easy part. I'm gonna have to come down and do a nice VOR approach, which well, that could be interesting. But yeah. But thanks again, Ali. Really do appreciate that. Brian says there's some major updates coming for the 310. Is that right, Brian? I've not seen any information. Manic Mimer says, hey Manic, says, oh, the A310, very interested to see this, hope it's not too different from the 320. It's not. A lot of crossover. There really is a lot of crossover. I mean, it's Airbus, isn't it? So you kind of expect that. But I think the way that you go about doing it is perhaps slightly different. So there's kind of no auto-tuning the ILS, for example, so we're going to have to go and we're going to manually tune that in. Well, we're not, because it's not an ILS approach that we're doing today, it's VOR. So so yeah, it is still very Airbusy. You can see where the A320 came from when you've spent a bit of time in this aircraft. Right, let's start looking at how we're going to do this this approach then. So let's see how the flight plan currently looks. And again, this is done exactly the same way as you do the 320. We just scroll through and see here. Hey Dark Fury, good to see you. How can I fly this and not the CRJ? Oh, very easily. Very, very easily. Right, so there we've got... Let's bring the charts in and have a quick look. So we're coming in at Anil, and then we're planning on landing. We're landing 09 left, I think it is. Let me just grab the operational flight plan. Yeah, so we're landing on runway 09 left is the plan. Anil 1 Sierra, which brings us in from Anil to 50 miles out from Kilo India Sierra, which is the VOR we're using for our approach today, which is this waypoint just here, actually. That's 15 miles out. And then we're pretty much, we can almost fly straight in, get a visual. We've got a cavo case, so we're going to probably use the VOR to help us, obviously, but we can just fly a nice visual approach straight in. So this is going to be really good and old schooler. Not something you do in an EasyJet 320, a good visual approach. But let's get some other information that we need out of here. So transition altitude for the flight's 3,000 feet. Platform altitude is 1,300 feet. MSA is 540. Actually, that is a very good question. What category is the A310? Is it category C or category D? So sorry, minimum descent altitude is 540, isn't it? And the MSA is, as we're coming in, 5,200. Manic, I'm going to need to buy a yoke now. I know. Elevation is 100 feet. We've already set that, and the must approach altitude is 3,000 feet. Brian says they're releasing a beta update for it today. Users whose A310 had loaded quickly on the first load had not compiled correctly. That's interesting. Soup DC says lots of cool real-world retro routes to be able to simulate as well. Of course, the retro routes, but we can still fly the real routes. There are a few of them. Most of them in this part of the world, to be honest. Right, we want 117.4 for the VOR, so go and set that. And our inbound course for that is 108 by the looks of things. There we go. Obviously not picked that up yet because we're far too far away. Amir, is it category C? Fantastic. According to Google. We'll believe Google. Talia Johnson, good afternoon, sir. Hope you're well. A couple of other things to get then. So if we're going to fly... yeah, if we're going to fly to 15 miles from the Kish Island VOR, then I'll tell you all I'm going to do. all I'm going to do is we're just going to fly direct to the VOR then after this waypoint. Fly direct towards the VOR. 15 miles. So what altitude do we want to be at? We're going to want to be, if we can then, at that point, if we can be at about 5,000 feet, that would be bang on profile. Now, we want to slow down, so 4,000 feet, we'll be safe, we'll be over the water, we'll also be VMC. So the plan will be 4,000 feet here, and then we can use our eyes, see the runway, get ourselves in. I think that is a good plan. Clemo, good afternoon, mate. Hope you're well. Shad says, how's the new update treating us? I think it's been treating everybody very, very well. Most people have been enjoying this. So what's the decision on height for this? 540, isn't it? There we go. And there's our little top of descent arrow there, which is just under 80 miles away, so what else do we need to just fill out on here? We could, does bearing distance 2 work on the A310? Let's find out. So, Oscar India, Bravo Kilo, and we're going for, oh, hang on, Oscar India, Bravo Kilo, 09 left. Ah, yes it does. Excellent. So that was working nice, and that was working as well. We've got 227 miles to go. So the approach speed is going to be a VAP of 137. We have to make a note of that because we have to manually set it. Ginger, where do you set the QNH? These ones here. I don't think you set it in the box like you do the approach page of the 320. MDA put that in 540. .137, yeah. And we've got a landing weight just under 108 tons. So can we go and tell the system that we want speed there of 180, that'd be good. I want to be at 4,000 feet when we get there. Oh, fantastic. It's such an Airbus, isn't it? 107 HB, how did I get the wing views? I literally just walked out the door. I should probably close that. Yeah, just walked out the door, and you can set those up. I mean, have a look at this now. How good does that look? So the pilot's flying for Mahan Air, obviously doing these kind of flights on a regular basis in the 310. Got some glorious scenery to look at, but it's not all flat, is it? Tally says you like to think that in the sim the world is a better place and you can leave the cockpit door open. We're not that close to Coffin Corner at all. You've got what? You've got around 30 knots of speed to play with. So maximum is just above 270. The slowest is just below 250. So yeah, you've got about, well, right, it's probably got about 25 knots, which is, you know, you'll find it as well like that sometimes on the 320 as well. Now, where was that top of descent? Oh, that's interesting. What's he doing all the way over there? Top descent 1243, it's currently 1217. Not that long. Definitely glad we've come out of the rubbish weather for our first landing in the 310. Not sure that arrow is in the most accurate of places. See, what really amazes me is, once again, this is a part of the world where there's no world update, and it looks like this. How incredible is that? I think sometimes I forget the level of detail that Microsoft Flight Simulator's got for the entire world. Years ago, when spending countless hours flying FSX long-haul flights for which you didn't have global scenery, particularly in parts of the world like this where it just wasn't one of the most popular parts of the world to fly. So you'd fly over it and it'd just look brown, barren, and wasn't very exciting looking out of the window. This, though, looks like, almost looks photorealistic at this height, doesn't it? Hey Bon, what have you just picked up? Minimum descent altitude is... sorry, not minimum descent altitude. Hang on. So, the minimum descent altitude is 540. Which is what I think we've popped in. Yeah, minimum descent altitude 540. So, you're right, we don't need a decision height. That is for autolands, which we can't do today. Aviation Alfie says that SimBrief integration also works on the Xbox A310. Really? That's good, isn't it? So I'm not too sure. I believe this decision, this top of descent marker. In fact, I don't believe that top of descent marker. That's nowhere near. $160 miles away at 37,000 feet. I do some old school calculations. Probably want to start heading down around 140 miles away. And if we go to our progress page, we're what? 159 miles away, so we probably want to start heading down very soon, to be honest with you. So I'm going to start our descent. We'll start getting down to, let's go flight level 200, which is, you know, plenty of altitude to lose. So we'll set 20,000 feet. Use level change. So down we go. $200 blue. Nox says unless we're flying Cat 2, yeah, auto land, deselect decision height and set the minimums in the altitude indicator with the left dial. Whereabouts are you referring to, Nox? Because we haven't got decision height turned on, unless there's somewhere else you're looking. So I don't think we need to descend at this kind of rate. Let's can we use VS speed? Will that work? $2,000 feet per minute, I think, is adequate enough for the time being. If we need to just work out the vertical profile ourselves, we'll do it ourselves. We've had lots of practice in years gone by whilst waiting for VNAV to come in the aircraft. Just looking, is that the coast? Could be. So you'll have to jump onto Google Maps to see where it is we're actually landing today, because it's like a little island. It literally is an island. So it's going to be quite fun to fly to. We'll keep an eye on our distance shown just here, so we've got 130 miles to run. Remember though, that is as the crow flies, and to be honest, we're not too far off that. It is pretty much, we're going to be doing straight in approach. Oh, hang on. Are you... So, Nox, are you talking about this this dial just here? What are our minimums? They're 540, aren't they? So... There. Hey, Flight Sim Mike! How you doing? Good morning from California, and thank you for your 4 months of channel membership as well, Flight Sim Mike. Really do appreciate that. We're nicely below the profile anyway, from what I can see. We've got 116 miles to go, and we're at what, 27,000 feet? So, yeah, I mean, if we went now to profile, we can see the VDEV scales just here. We don't need to descend anywhere near as fast as what we were doing. Nox, I wasn't completely sure about that top of descent marker, because it gave me around 16 miles to lose about 20,000 feet. So that wasn't... That didn't compute out as being good to me. And for those of you who remember the channel, in the very, very early days where we had no VNAV in the 320 or anything like that, we just built up our own profile. We know how to work out a vertical profile. We know how to monitor it and refine it. So that's what we're doing. Just going back old school. How amazing do these ridges look? I've never seen them before in the sim, just because I've never flown in this part of the world before. I think it's amazing. Hey Julia, Charlie Mike, good to see you. Do you know, sometimes Streamlabs, it seems to be missing out on the Twitch window. I'm not quite sure what's happening with that, to be honest with you. Might have to reinstall Streamlabs, it's been doing some strange things of late. Theodore Graff, don't ask me about hardware stuff. There's plenty of people in the chat who I'm sure are far more knowledgeable than I am. Right, 87 miles to go. I'll be honest with you, profile's looking pretty spot on. Obi-Wan, it's FS Realistic, which I presume interprets a little bit of turbulence, so we'll see how we get on with that. Matt Booth, can the A310 calculate descent? Yes, it can, apparently. I think I messed it up by trying to get a bit too clever and throw a couple of things in the box that it didn't like, so I'm just working it out mentally. Brendan says, not a big fan of the VNAV, too much reliance on speed brakes. Do it the old school way. To be fair, the Phoenix VNAV is usually spot on, Brendan, as is the real thing. But if you've got that logic to fall back on, absolutely, why not? Now, we've picked up the VOR, which is 79.5 miles away, so we've now got a perfect reference for how far away we are from our airport. And at 75 miles, the perfect altitude is about 25,000 feet. Well, we're just nicely below that, which is good because we still need to slow down and things, so yeah. Looks like a little fog patch there over the sea. Is anybody able to just get me a latest METAR for our arrival airport? Oscar India Bravo Kilo, please, and just pop that into the chat for me. Just do some first officer stuff for me, so I've got access to that quickly. Talvin, will I do a flight with 380 when it comes out? Oh, definitely, absolutely. Obi-Wan, how do I like the 310 so far compared to the 320? A lot of it is very, very similar. The only differences really are just the way you get to the information you require, or input the information that you require. Well, everything else is you can see where the A320 came from. Dark Fury and Talia, thank you so much. Right, so visibility has dropped to 8,000 kilometers. No significant clouds. QNH 1014. Thank you very much. Just wanted that visibility to stay good. Right, so that's 20,000 feet. We're going to get ourselves down now to, let's get all the way down to 7,000. So, Donallo, thank you for subscribing. So we've got flight level 70 blue. probably need to get down. Yeah, see, so the profile's not looking completely accurate. I'm going to use level change, and that'll get us down a bit quicker. 60 miles, we want 20,000 feet. That is exactly what we're at. So we're just under 20,000 feet. We're at 60 miles. But remember, we do need to slow down. Start winding the speed back a little bit. 270 knots is fine for now. Oh, we have got the minimum set 450. Change that to 540. There we go. Is it minus 450 we've currently got it to, did you say? How can you tell if it's minus 450 or 540 or not? Where's the minus indicated? Can see why that visibility started to drop as well, can't we? We're getting fog patches coming in. I guess, remember, in real life it's now getting cold as the sun's dropped. Right, seatbelt signs on.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, you may notice we've begun our descent into our destination. We're not expecting any further delays or traffic in front of us for the next few days, so if you can assist the cabin crew by climbing down the parade, fill the back, and looking anywhere to the bags provided. Safe reasons, please set up all electronic devices and switch them to airplane mode once we have one. Please also note that the actual codes should be part of use. Thank you.
So you've probably seen me do this quite a bit in the 320. Normally, if just for helping the situational awareness, I'll normally pop something like a 30-mile range ring around our airport, and that's just good SA and to help me with a mental vertical profile. Not that you need it that much, but it's there for backup. And so at 30 miles, 10,000 feet is a good shout. We're at 45 miles, we're dropping now, we're at 13,000 feet, so that's good because we obviously need to beat off a bit of airspeed and start slowing down as well. CMAX says thank you for flying it around. No problem. It's really enjoyed the scenery as well that we've flown over because it's not something that I'm used to seeing. So really neat, really neat. And so now I'm going to get down to we're going to get down to 4,000 feet. I just want to double check transition altitude's 3,000. That's low, isn't it? So 4,000 feet. So here's still flight level 40. Now let's start winding that speed back. 250. Get the lights on. I should have that left-hand turn coming up in a minute. just again so you guys can see the plan, it'll be when we're going to turn left inbound Al Nol in a moment. Once we get there to 15 miles, we're just going to track the VOR straight in. We should get visual with the runway and the airport. And if we're 4,000 feet by the time we get there, 15 miles out, there should be plenty of should have plenty of time, good profile, and pretty much hand fly our way for a visual approach straight in. Our VAP speed is 137. Just double check. Oh, it's now 136. We obviously burnt a bit of fuel, so 136. Just reduce the, oops, there we go, just reduce the rate of our descent because it doesn't need to be that fast. So the profile's looking good. We wanted 4,000 feet just here. And let's start slowing ourselves down, then we can start configuring now for the landing. Now, is there anywhere on here that shows the VFE speeds? There is in the Airbus, but don't need them in the Airbus. We just know them, and approach phase does its thing.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
22 miles out. Rotofib, thank you for that. 245 210 195. Wonderful. So let's start configuring then. I don't mind being configured early for an aircraft I'm unfamiliar with. So we've gone flaps 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be relieved to know we are well to land. Please make sure you are seated with your belts fastened and your trays in the upright position. Please turn on all electronic devices.
Could just do with this fog patch clearing. Tell you what, we've worked that VNAV profile to an absolute T, haven't we? I wanted 4,000 feet here. We're at 4.3 and just under 2 miles away, so that's spot on. So we're now turning towards the VOR. Hopefully we'll see the runway pretty soon. We're going to continue a nice happy descent, 4,000 feet, 12 miles. So when we get to 12 miles we'll start heading down. And we'll do that at about 1,200 feet per minute. Let's go to our next stage of flaps then, flaps 2. And let's start reducing speed to 190 knots. Oh, hang on, we can't do that, we need to reduce the speed first. 180 knots. We need to be below 210. There we go, and flaps 2. Right, that platform altitude is 1,300 feet. Down we go. Can anybody see a runway yet? 10 miles out. Once we're visual, I'm happy to disconnect and fly manually, but we're not there yet. Gear down, disarm the spoilers. Let's start to slow ourselves down to final approach speed, which was 136. I'm taking control. It's just a bit hazy, isn't it? .5 miles. Anybody see a runway? I can see what looks like some buildings, but I certainly can't see a runway of any kind. Oh, hang on, there it is, I think. Why have I got full... why have I got full thrust coming? Hope this is a long runway. We're high, but if we can just get down, we should be okay.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
200. 300.
Seat rate.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Come on, get down.
5.
Well, there were lights in the end, but they didn't want to shine very brightly, did they?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived at our destination. The crew will now commence preparing the aircraft for deboarding. Can passengers please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. You may now turn on your phones and electronic devices. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today, and please consider becoming a channel member to receive extra benefits on your future flights with us. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Tell you what, that was incredibly difficult to try and find that runway. The minimums for starting the approach visual range wise is 1.4 kilometers. We apparently, according to the Meta, had 8,000 meters, and I really struggled to find that. Did Fly Live Studio give a landing rate in the end, or did it decide to not bother? Hope you've enjoyed our first 310 flight anyway, guys. If you have, make sure you do hit the like button on the way out. Get that APU started. Ian Williams says landing was 188. Oh, we'll take that all day long. Nothing wrong with 188. Especially in this aircraft. It was definitely a bit touch and go there at the end. I thought, we're going to have to go around, and suddenly then I realised, well, I can only do the go around actions as I do in the 310, in the 320, and hope that it's something similar, because I have no idea how you'd do it otherwise. I don't even know if go around tracks are shown in this thing. Really? Why is there a why is there a Delta? What looks like either a CRJ or something just there. That is weird. Right, we'll get ourselves to the gate. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed our inaugural 310 flight. It's definitely been something different, hasn't it? Well, we'll have to do again. Might fly somewhere that's actually got an ILS though next time. Interestingly enough as well, the two airports that we departed from today both have freeware scenery on flightsim.to, so there's quite a lot that we're going to be able to hopefully utilise with the 310 when flying these real world routes around Iran and whatnot. So yeah, that's going to be really nice to be able to do as well. Right guys, that is me done for a Thursday afternoon. Hope we've kept you entertained. It's a great aircraft, it really is. And of course what you've got to remember is it's free, it's just now default. Part of the Microsoft Flight Simulator's 40th update. So yeah, just absolutely beautiful and incredible in his simulations of being able to team up with Azobo and give us an aircraft of this quality for well, for nothing, isn't it? For nothing. It's been brilliant. Right guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Huge thanks to those of you who have donated and contributed towards the channel's upkeep on today's stream, and of course to the EasyJet Simpilot channel members. As always, a huge thanks for all the support you guys show. I look forward to chatting with you all on the Discord server very soon. It's now time for me to go and feed the animals, that is the kids. Thanks very much guys, looking forward to the next one already. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.